All right. Hey, it's Thanksgiving week. Hello. I'm just going to do some catching up. Nothing real special going on. We're just going to, yeah, hack a little bit. Feel free to hang out, join me. We're doing all the streams, and I'm going to try to do a little catch up. Catching up. So, yeah, come in, hang out. Hopefully the audio is okay. Audio is the toughest problem for me. So let me know if the audio works for you, and we're going to keep on going. I am going to present here. This is what I'm working on. So this is the YouTube-Atoms project we started working on last week. There's a little bit of background while I get organized here. I'm going to move some stuff around. We're going to check out some repositories here. I need this one. Start here. This is the work that I'm familiar with. We started working on last week. So we're going to clone it to a different computer. And then what I'm going to do, I'm trying to think of it. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Oh, wait. Let's take a look. I have code over here. No. So I won't do it that way. I will use the gateway. JetBrains. I'm going to do it this way. Let's go and open that project. Same connection. Just connected to this other box. But I want to use an IDE that I'm comfortable with. So I'm gonna do stuff. Oh, you don't hear me too well. Is it because the music's too loud? Oh yeah, the music's way loud. Haha, thank you. Maybe that's better. So, Tukes96, hello. You say you don't hear me too well, and it's probably because I had the music up way too high. How does that? Hopefully that's better. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that feedback. See, the audio is the thing that I have the hardest time with. So I'm hello, Robotech. Oh, I'm so happy to see you here. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, we're getting going. I am working on a project we started working on last week. This is an AI project, and yeah, I'm gonna try to do some catching up. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. We're gonna do some hacking today. Now, I'm gonna be very transparent here. I'm gonna be hacking some Python. I'm not a very strong Python hacker here. It's been a while, so it's gonna take me a little bit to get loose. And yeah, we're doing stuff. So feel free to come in. As always, if you've got any questions, throw them out there. This is, yeah, it's fun time. So I'm going to hack. We're going to try to move through some stuff. I don't really have, because it's the holiday week, I don't have a lot of stuff going on. Like objective-wise, this is like kind of the high priority thing. I do need to get an abstract submitted for a conference. And other than that, like, I'm just going to spend some time on this before the kids get home. So bear with me. I'm going to open this project up. I'm using this gateway project. So I'm going to try to open up this remote application. So it's running on, or the code and the code server, the language server, are running on a different machine. But I'd like to edit it from here. Over the past 4 days, I had a lot of time working with the code tunnel from VS Code and my iPad. So I was using my iPad to tunnel from remote. I was in Philadelphia to connect to my home machine, but I don't have that installed on this. So the machine I want to connect to an x86 machine. So here it says, Tukes96 says, I come to take your advice. I am a telecom engineer. I want to change to a software dev role and don't want to fall all the people going the full stack JS route and want to choose the Java Spring. What do you think? Well, I think you are wise beyond your years. Like, this is a great take. And like, here's it. Like, when the full stack, first of all, is something that I have a hard time with that word. Excuse me. So when I think full stack, I think it's somebody that can do the front end, the back end, meaning the databases, understands a little bit about operating systems. And today, I feel like you need to know containers at a minimum. And I don't know that you need to know Kubernetes. I think you need to understand it. But, excuse me, understanding system stuff I think is important. I got a little tickle. So give me a minute. I'm gonna go get some water. I got a tickle in my throat. I'll be right back. Apologize for that. So I was talking about full stack. Here's the thing I like about Spring. I like that I've got tools like this that I can understand. Here, let's open this project. I can understand Java in Spring, and I've got different front-end tools that make my life really easy. So I can go and build a front end, just like any other, JavaScript, Reveal.js, Angular, or whatever. But I can go and build a front end, and I can build views, and I can have those delivered to me as Spring/Java, and I can go and edit, and I can build creative things without having to really go deep into the JavaScript side of things. So I feel like I have a lot more flexibility when it comes building a front end, building a back end, building a system that I can deliver to the edge. I feel like this Spring Boot ecosystem and what's included in it gives me the most flexibility. I feel like my core, starting in Spring Boot and expanding outwards, has been super valuable. So full bias, survivor bias, I think you are on the right track. I think you're going to do yourself a great service. How did you build a front end with Java? This is called Vaadin. So Vaadin is a framework. Even if I go here, start.spring.io, I can build a new, hopefully you've seen this. If not, I'm going to show you. I can go build a new Spring project. This is our Spring initializer. I can go build a new Spring project. I can even use the new release that's coming out later this week. And I can decide what I want to build, what I want to call it. And I can say, hey, I want to do a Spring Web. So it's going to use the Web MVC. And I want to build a UI using Vaadin. Oh, I can't do it there yet. So let's step back. And then I'm going to do it with Vaadin. So I want you to take a look at the Vaadin framework. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the Vaadin framework. So this allows you to build and deliver JavaScript, but it uses Java to create that JavaScript that gets delivered to the front end. So the cool thing that I'm learning now is that Vaadin, its power to deliver these mobile responsive types of web apps. So I can build one front end and have it be the same code base that I use for my mobile, my web, or other. So that's why I'm a big fan. And I'm just scratching the surface on Vaadin, to be honest. But this is just one example. There are other front end frameworks that I can choose. If I remove this, another popular one, especially in my circles, is TimeLeaf, right? So it's not building JavaScript, but it still allows me to develop front ends using templates. But I can still base my core of my strengths on the Spring Boot ecosystem. Yeah, HTMX is another good option. So that's how I did that. So I'm a big fan of Vaadin. You know, take a look at this if you get a chance, or you know, if you stick around, keep coming to the show. I will be doing a front end based on Vaadin for the stuff that I'm doing over here with YouTube-Atoms. As you can see, this is my YouTube analysis assistant. That's what we're doing over here. So yeah, that's me just working through some ideas on what we're going to use and how we're going to do it. So stay tuned. Robotech, Icon told me so much about you, and I have enjoyed your content. I'm teaching myself robotic engineering from scratch. Like, awesome. I wish I had time and felt like I could go down that path. I have done some robotics in the past, and yeah, that's a great spot to be in. I think you're doing yourself. It's gonna be fun. I've watched your streams as well. I enjoy it. I should do this. I should go and give a shout out. Give me a second. I'm still learning this stuff. Twitch. As I try to get better at streaming and I try to do more, I am going to, I'm going to try to not have the echo, but I'm going to try to do this and do the shout out at Robotech, like that, so that everybody knows to follow. I think you're doing good things. I think you're doing wonderful things. So thank you for being here. I'm just gonna, think out loud and continue to work. Again, I'm doing stuff that I'm, YouTube stuff. This project is gonna be fun. We're gonna learn some stuff, and I'm working. But Tukes96, like any kind of questions, Robotech, any kind of questions that you have, I am very comfortable. Not having an agenda. I have a loose agenda of what I want to try to get done, but yeah, I'm fine to go off and different threads as I try to manage this tickle in my throat. All right, so I'm going to continue on, and awesome. Thank you so much. When I asked JavaScript people, told me Java is hard and verbose. JavaScript people. All I'm saying, like, I'm trying to be objective about it. Again, my perception is that you can get further, faster with a Spring Boot based skill set than with a JavaScript, React, Angular, whatever other front end you want to throw in there. I feel like you can get further, faster. If I were to have my kids learn a stack and build fundamentals, I'm teaching my kids Spring. To be honest, like, that's where I want them to start. I think that's going to give them the best leg up. Thank you. And thank you, Robotech. Let's go. So I am going to build here. What we did was we have this envrc, which I like. Install plugins. Sure. Let's do that. I did C in basic Java in university. Really like it back then. Like if you've got a background, this is not going to be hard for you. And did Python in your job, so maybe you can help me out. So yeah, stick around. I could use it. All right, let's go. Would you like us all? Sure. Like, why not? I am not dying on resources here. So here's what we're doing. Oh, this has been fixed already. Haha. All right, never mind. So that's fixed. And what else did I want to change here? So yeah, what I noticed, there are like Java jobs. One of the other Twitch streamers, TJ, he did a stream not too long ago where he was just basically, I think he went on Indeed and just showed the number of jobs and just did a comparison like over different languages. And yeah, Java's out there. Java's been around for a long time. Spring has been around for a long time. And yeah, like I think he also compared average pay. So yeah, like I think it's worth it to understand something. Go deep on something. You don't have to know it all. Actually, I'll even show you kind of my thought. You can go and check out. I try to make as much of my stuff as public as possible. I'm gonna go through this. And this is what, hey, like, I want you to be T-shaped. Like, understand stuff, understand other things, but go deep on something, whether it's Angular or Spring Boot or J2EE or whatever. Go deep on something, because if you go deep on something, you'll get this like carryover of concepts. You'll have something that you can map concepts to, and it'll be easier to learn the other things in your environment. Yeah. The question is, do I need to learn Spring before Spring Boot, and do I need to learn J2EE? No. No. If you want to learn, thank you. Like if you want to learn, this is where you start. Spring, and I work at VMware, so you can take this with a grain of salt. But I think that this is a great place to go and learn. Is Spring Academy. It gives you these guides and these courses. A bunch of them are free, and it's just a great way to just go and get something started. Like this is seriously such a good, quick little course. Just building a RESTful web service, so you can understand how easy it is to stand things up. You can get a taste of how sweet it is to be a Spring developer, all the nice things that are integrated with your IDE, and you can go from there. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm here to help. And I'm not the only one. Along with my co-host, Dan Vega, we do Spring office hours. So if you're going down this path and you're starting to learn Spring, start here. And when you got questions, start at Spring Academy. And when you got questions, then you bring it to Spring office hours and we'll help. You have somebody that you can go to. We do these shows. You see the next one's coming up in 7 days. We do these shows fairly frequently. We've had 57 episodes so far. And yeah, you can bring your questions. It's a nice thing. It's a thing I wish I had when I was in your seat. So yeah, welcome in. Thank you for hanging out. And yeah, let's learn something together. So now that you've got some Spring under your belt, you've got some Python under your belt, let's take a look. Oh, something's beeping in mine. Okay. So I'm going to close this up, and what I'm trying to do is get caught up. I need to see what is happening over here with Josh. So he got to work on this a little bit while I was gone.
Yeah, the keys in my car.
And hold on one sec. All right. So yeah, we started working on this last week. He had a few days or a little bit of time anyways to work on this while I was gone. And yeah, I just want to catch up. I want to see if I can get things up. So we did this. That's one way to do it. Okay. All right, so I'm just looking at my options here. So one of the things that we talked about was S3. So one of the first things I might want to do is, this says region, and then this is the bucket. What I might want to do is, I talked about doing this as a Mio, which I haven't done in a while, but it's S3 compatible. I don't have cloud money. I got Raspberry Pi money, so I want to run this like in my home lab. And yeah, so we got this open source license. So I might want to look at that here in just a sec. What else? Don't need that. So now we have a CLI. Sure. And I'm not going to do that now. So we're looking at this. Good question. Raspberry Pi 5 money? Well, I've got a couple pre-ordered from different places, because usually you can only order one at a time. And yeah, I got a couple of them on the way. Tukes96 says, I am not working and want to give myself like a full year. It's like 6-12 months. Good to learn Java. Yes. Plenty of time. Like I said, start at spring.academy. And now you know somebody that can help you. So if you ever get stuck, my advice, like when you're learning stuff, is build something, just like I'm doing here. Like, think of something that's cool. Don't copy anybody else's stuff. Like, think of a new project for you, build it, take it to production. I think, again, that's my bias. That's how I work. I want to work it. I want to run it. I want to take it to production. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing here. This is how I'm going to learn. I'm going to try to be like Josh. Here's a good question. RoboJack says, how useful is a home lab? A home lab can be anything. So a couple of years ago, I spent time with somebody that kind of reached out, and they were trying to learn Java in Spring. And power was the big issue in their community. Like, they had the rolling brownouts and all that kind of stuff. And the Raspberry Pi was a great resource for them. So we were doing things on this Raspberry Pi because that's what they had. That's what they could do. But they were building a service for their community. So it didn't need to be cloud. It doesn't have to be fancy. One of the things that I do a lot of, and I don't know why, but I do a lot of Raspberry Pi development for the size. I used to have a big home lab, lots of computers, lots of power and stuff. And then at some point I said, you know what? I don't need all that. Let's see how much we can do with just a little bit of compute. So try to shrink things down. And now that's even cooler because of some of the things that Spring allows me to do. So like, the value of it is that I can have things that are running. I can have examples that are always running. In my role, I can feel like I'm in production, and I can run things. Like I run websites, like let's go take a look. Like this website, nishan.dev, is running on my home lab. Let's see if it works. It's scaled to 0. So even though it runs on Raspberry Pis, it's not running when it's not being used. Like when I hit refresh now, it'll respond real fast because it's up and running. But you saw it took a little bit longer on the first one because it was scaled to 0. And then it came up and cool, now it works. So like now as people are using it, they can go and see, hey, here's what's happening. So yeah, it's an example of what I might do with a home lab, but I have it running. And there's more, obviously, and there's more to come. But for me, it's a way to learn. One of the other things, let me go back here. Right, I try to keep these things out because I use them a lot, and I want you to know that I'm not like, just thinking of it right now and not pulling out of my butt. Yeah, you're gonna learn this stuff, but this, like reading the rule book, like the way that I learned, right? Reading the rule book for American football won't make you a football player. Playing football in practice is how you become a football player. And with development, just going out and reading the blogs and reading the tutorials and doing that, that's not gonna make you a developer. You've gotta do things. You gotta take things in production. You gotta like cut yourself and learn from mistakes. So I put this in here for that reason, right? This is, I think it's guidance for everybody, but this is especially for me. This is the way I learn by going and doing things. So the home app is a big part of how I learn. It's a huge part of how I learn. 296 says, I've been consuming a lot of software development videos and a lot of community and was impressed by what I've seen done in Java with Project Loom and Spring Native. Yes. So you're talking my thing, but the whole thing of like consuming a lot of software, let me show you like what I did. I used to work at a company called Garmin, and when I first learned about Spring Boot, I used to go and I had my own playlist. I don't have it anymore. I wish I did, because that'd be fun to like reminisce. But I used to go and like set up these videos from Josh and Mark and the like. But I would I had these videos about Spring Cloud Gateway, Spring Security, and I would listen to them like on repeat over and over. Man, there's a lot of stuff here. And that's how I learned. I was trying to just learn through osmosis. So this idea of like lots of videos and like keep on learning, like I would literally play these videos all the time. So I've got multiple screens here, and I would always have something on another screen, even though I'd watched the video 50 times. I'd have it on another screen, just trying to listen, trying to hear, so that, as I was coming up on things, I would bump into it and I would learn. So yeah, this is what I did. I literally would watch these videos on a loop. Not all of them. Like I said, I whittled it down to like my own playlist, and I literally watched that playlist on repeat. And I'm gonna keep on going back, because it was 2015 when I started doing it. After I left Garmin, I went and I worked at a little startup. And yeah, as a way of teaching the other engineers I was working with, and knowing that I was going the right path, I was doing this same thing. I was listening and reviewing and repeating all these videos as often as I could. Before Spring, which Java course do you advise me to follow? No, there is no before. I want you to start here. Literally just start here. You don't have to go deep on Java. Spring's an abstraction on top of Java. You don't have to go deep on Java in order to get a ton of value out of Spring, especially if you're new. You don't have to go deep to start, right? Where is that? Right, you don't have to be an expert right away. Don't go deep. Like, stay up here, figure out. The Spring ecosystem is far and wide. Get started here. Get comfortable with it. Do these guides. Do a couple of these guides and have fun with it. And then, you brought up this Project Loom and Spring Native. So here's the cool thing. I'm gonna combine it in here with the Home Lab. You can go out and buy one of these Raspberry Pi, like a Raspberry. Oh, here, watch this. I'm gonna take it one step further. I think I even put the price on it. So this is a picture of a Raspberry Pi 4 with a cluster hat adapter, and then 4 more. These are Raspberry Pi Zero version 2. So it's got a baseboard, and then it's got 4 child boards, but those can all operate as a cluster. So in this project, in this blog, I put K3S, which is Kubernetes, and even the case, this whole thing, I think, let me see, I think it was $135. feel like it was $135. But I should probably put that together, that bill of materials. But this right here, with this, you can be learning Kubernetes. You can take your Spring Boot guide projects and you can deploy them and you can have it operating on Kubernetes as native images and it'll fit. So even though this has only got 4 gigs and these have half a gig, so it's got 6 gigs total, but it's running Kubernetes. And you can run those native images and you can deploy it and you can have a lot of fun with that. So that I have that cluster actually running. Let me open up over here. I have it running. I don't know if I have anything running on it. CTX. See, I've got that exact cluster is running right here. Kube CTX cluster hat 00. And let's see what we have on it. Yeah, nothing. So it's got Kubernetes. It's got a Kubernetes dial tone. It's ready to take workloads. But still, it's cool. I've been in this process of redeploying all of my home ad. That's why my room is a mess. And yeah, that's the answer. So keep doing that. You got my answer on that. Fantastic. That makes sense. Here's how do you get out of tutorial hell? By taking it to production, by making it real. So yeah, like when does a tutorial, when does this guide, building a RESTful web service, when does doing that as a tutorial, when does that switch to not being a tutorial and being something real? It's when you take it to production. It's when you put it out there and you put it live. I think that's how you get out of it. Just take it to production, whatever production is, right? Get a Raspberry Pi, right? I'll just say, hey, let's start this. I'll change my mind later, but for now, let's just say get a Raspberry Pi, and let's make that the default, right? Because I'm trying to do this, even this thing right now. I'm trying to do this experiment, this YouTube-Atoms. I want to deploy this to a Raspberry Pi, right? Come on, hello. So cool. Reset the canvas. All right, confirm. All right, let's do, all right, step 1. Right, it doesn't matter what size, right? It doesn't really matter which one. But for Java, these, right? You can do the Raspberry Pi 02 or 2W. Even a Raspberry Pi, the 3B plus, older, but still 64-bit. And then the Raspberry Pi 4. Right. Any one of these is good enough to do, and in your background, like these are all great for Java, Spring, and robotics. 296, I feel that you are really passionate when you speak. Thanks for that. I am really passionate, and thank you for saying that. I care. I love the job that I'm in. I love the role that I'm in and the community that I'm in a lot. And I love that I get to give back. One of the things I say is lift as we climb. And I'm here to help. It's the reason why I love this job, is because I get to help people. I get like real, I'm lucky that people say thank you, and it feels great. It's a great way of moving forward. It's a great, it's not just a career, it's a calling, it's a purpose. I love what I do, I love learning, and I love helping other people learn too. So yeah, thank you for that. And Robotech, like with what you're doing, we we could do some really cool things together. I have all sorts of sensors and stuff sitting here. But yeah, it's all based and ready for Robo or for Raspberry Pis and Picos and all that kind of stuff. But we could probably figure out something cool to do together. So yeah, thanks. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And again, ask those questions. We're here. I think I can do this. Oh, I don't have the Bitwarden client installed. So how do I install the Bitwarden client on that remote so I can have my environment variables? Let's check it. Look, Bitwarden CLI. Ubuntu. Here's the CLI. Okay, how do I download, install Linux? Blast. I need to do it on a remote computer, so let's do it this way. Why? I feel like they had a. Anyways, let's copy this. Copy link address. Let's go over to this other machine. Not this one, this one. And wget this guy. Wait, what? That didn't work. Wget this. Is it -O? Wait, what? What's the wget output to a file? Wget version background execute output -O little o. Little o equals. Wait, what? Oh, maybe I need it like this. -O equals pw.zip. Oh boy, that didn't work. Or did it? Let's see. It says resolving, failed. What? Unbelievable. Oh, I did it wrong. Dash. Oh boy. Move equals bw dot slash. Nope, I bet that didn't work either. It says resolving this connected response forwarded bad request. What? Get out of here with that. All right, let's do it this way. Let's do the old lame, I don't know how to do this way. So I'm gonna click this and I'm gonna save it over to here. So it saves it on this computer and then I'm going to SAP from there over to that computer. All right, cool. So now I've got it, and now I'm over here. I'm gonna remove those wget things. And I'm gonna go into a temp directory, and then I'm gonna unzip that. All right, so now I got BW, and then I'm going to sudo install bw2/user local bin. Now when I do which bw, it's there, it's in my path. rm temp and that guy bw And I think that's good. All right, now I'm gonna go over here. The problem was I didn't have that. It says you should specify a during warn timeout. I don't have to do that. I know how to do that. I'm going to show another example. Boop. I'm going to look at my bash profile. Hey, I don't take my recommendations lightly, so I'm glad that you have taken a look at it and do it. We can dig in, and let's have fun. I'm not a botnet expert, but I know it gets me to the milestone that I typically need to get to. I'm not doing a whole lot of crazy stuff. A lot of times, the work that I do, it doesn't matter how amazing the things that are happening. It doesn't matter how amazing those things are in the back end if you can't show it. So botnet is a great way to generate a UI to show off the cool things you do with Spring and Spring Boot. Please hold. I'm looking for this warn timeout. I think maybe I better be careful. One of the things that we're trying not to do is expose secrets, right? So that's why we're doing some of these things that we're doing. So bear with me. I'm editing my bash profile. And over on Linux, it's bash rc. Or on my Linux, it's bash.rc. So I'm just going in and I'm now adding an environment variable for dirinv. I use dirinv. So you can see this. This is what I use, dir env. This is the tool that I use a lot to unclutter your .profile. So it allows me, in this case, we have this .envrc, which says, hey, set up your environment this way. It does have some secrets here, but those are generic for this local rabbit. But for like the real secrets, we're saying, hey, up here, do the toml file thing, but I want you to log into Bitwarden, which is a secret store, and unlock it so that you've got a Bitwarden session. And then after you've done that, I want you to go and get this password, get this secret, YouTube Assistant S3 production, get these values and put them into your environment variable. So we can actually check in this thing into our GitHub without any secrets. So in order to get into our secrets, my secrets, Josh's secret, anybody else's secrets, you got to have their session. You got to be able to log into their session. So you got to know their username and their password in order to log in. So this is a kind of cool way of setting it up so we can get our secrets. We don't have to have secrets on our file system. They're still stored in a secret store. And yeah, and we can play nice together. Here's a good question. Is IntelliJ like the go-to IDE for Java Spring? I'd say that it's one of them. I think there's a handful, and it really depends on a lot of things. It depends on where you're coming from, what are you doing. So I'm using IntelliJ, but also right here in another screen, quickly, I can show you that I'm using VS Code. I like to be able to move around, but yeah, IntelliJ is my go-to. This is the gateway client, so JetBrains client. So it's IntelliJ-like, but it allows me to do code on a remote server, just like VS Code does. So yeah, it's one of the go-tos. It's where I'm most comfortable. But yeah, I don't think it's 100%. That's what you have to do. Lots of people using lots of things. There's a community edition. It's not free, right? There's a community edition of IntelliJ, community edition. Take a look at that. There is also an enterprise edition, which is not free. So good questions. Like, yeah, keep it going. I would love for you to get comfortable. So here's the thing. When I do this, so a little bit of background, I started streaming back in the days of Mixer, which is Microsoft's platform. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the community. There was a lot more, or I guess I felt like there was a lot more people that were doing live coding. I'll be honest, there was a lot of students that were doing live coding, and they were kind of like working through their homework on Mixer. And I was happy to like come in and help and ask questions, trying to be a teacher, not giving them the answers, but trying to be a teacher and like, hey, have you thought about this? And I had so much fun with the live coding and watching live coding and doing live coding. Like when I was doing any kind of work, I was trying to do it out in the open when I was trying to learn. And yeah, Mixer went away. And when that happened, I went over to Twitch. And Twitch, I found some friends, some other live coders. And I think at that point, pre-pandemic, there was still more live coding than there is now. But this is my jam. I like live coding because it wasn't just about like me live coding. I liked when other people were live coding. I liked to hear the way other people thought. I liked how other people were thinking out loud. And that's a big part of what I try to do. It would, especially I'm remote, right? I don't have other people in the office that I can reach out to and ask questions. I'm not getting that passive learning that you might in an office. So the live coding, if I'm not streaming, I would say 70% of the time, I will have a live code, somebody that's live coding, or one of those YouTube videos from Spring Source Dev. I literally have like, even though some of those videos I've watched dozens of times, or I saw it live, I still watch them. I still like to have them playing. It helps me focus. Don't ask me why, but I know it does. It helps me focus, and it keeps me motivated, right? I'm still trying to get better at what I'm doing. So that's my mode. So for you, I would love it if you, while we're live streaming, go install IntelliJ Community Edition. Go try one of the Spring Academy. Try this one. Try the Building a RESTful Web Service. Get into it and ask questions. Like, get through it. I think you can get through it. And if you got feedback, give feedback. I think you'd have a good time, and it would be fun for me to know that you're actually doing that on your side. So that's my thoughts. Let's go. We're doing this. Now we should have BW installed. So let's go back here. Let's close this and let's give myself another terminal. And let me see this. Let me do BW unlock. Why did that not work? Maybe I need to do this. I don't get the environment variable. I need to do this in another screen just because I don't really want to, again, trying to not expose secrets. Let's see here. Okay, that should work. But I'm gonna try it one more time. I think it's just this. I'm trying. Please hold. Please continue to hold. Sorry, I'm dealing with secrets. That's why I'm on another screen. And allow. Boom. Not found. Not found. Okay, cool. All right, we can do that. We can live with that because I did not have a couple of those properties set, and that's okay. So, but I changed this. So. Tukes96 says, I really like to watch people coding too, but found a lot of people coding in JavaScript, React Node. Yes. Like everyone doing the same thing in personality like to be unique. Yeah. Like I get it. I'm desperate for more Java. Yeah. So that's, trying to be a part of the solution, trying to be a part of what I want to see. So I would love it if you started doing Java in Spring and started streaming. I'll be there. You let me know when you're going to be there. I'll be there. Says, why Java has like a bad reputation in the startup world compared to big companies and corporations. I don't know. I don't know that I've seen that. I not only do I know a lot of startups that are using Java, but I was a VP of a startup that was using Java and successful. So yeah, I don't know that I agreed with that. I think it's just depends on who you talk to. There's not really a replacement for Java, right? Like maybe Java, but like yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about the other stuff. I've got open source. You can go and look at my GitHub, right? I'm transparent. But if you go and look through my GitHub, you will find commits for Ruby, Python, commits to open source projects in Ruby, Python, Go, Bash, .NET, C#, COBOL. Yeah, of course, Java. Like you'll find a lot of languages. Like, how do we do that? How do we go and see? Like, yeah, I've done some stuff. I don't know how you find the languages in JavaScript. I don't know how you find the languages that I've worked in, but yeah, I do lots. So I feel like I'm comfortable. I got enough. I got enough of the T-shape where I can talk about other languages. But again, you can do a lot of things with most languages. I feel lucky and grateful that I'm in the ecosystem that I'm in, and they're not all the same. So yeah, I don't know why there might be a reputation or not. Yeah, it's hard to say. Too much jobs. Like I was amazed in big companies. So I think if I want to learn to be a professional software dev, Java's the best choice. I mean, it worked for me. That's really all I can say. It's just that's my bias, I guess. But also, I'm saying that you now have somebody that I like to stream. I've been streaming more often lately, and I do have a show where that's our whole thing. Where did I put it? I lost it. SpringOfficeHours.io, easy to remember. Like, I'm telling you that not every ecosystem has this, and this one does. Like, not just me either, right? Dan Vega goes way deeper on a ton of Spring stuff. So you've got a resource. If you're trying to go and learn something, I'm showing you that you've got Spring Academy to get started. You got tons of free content. And if you want to go on the paid route, like don't spend money on Udemy or Coursera or something like that. There's a paid course where you get $299 for the year. And with that, you can get certified. You get this certified prep courses, and then you get a voucher to actually take the test. So for $299, you have all the content that you need to be a Spring certified professional developer, and you have a year to do it. So if you want to invest in yourself, I can't think of a better investment. And I say this because I know that this is a bargain, because not too long ago, it was thousands of dollars to get to this level. And I also know from this community, from this Spring Office Hours community, that this is worth it, and it's a great experience because we've got people that are in our community that are, kind of regulars on our Spring Office Hours that are coming in, and they're telling us how great and how easy it was. that they love the content, and the content just keeps on improving and keeps on getting better. So yeah, take screenshots. It's worth it. Fantastic. Oh, look at this. And right on time. You know, Thomas, one of our community members who has actually gone down this path. So again, like and he's a real person, right? Like you can see Thomas, he's been doing some amazing stuff. He's got projects out there. Check out his GitHub repo. Like this is my advice. This is why I like this ecosystem. So start here, paid or not. Like go do the free stuff if you like it, and then when you got questions, you come here. And folks like me and Dan and Thomas will be there to answer questions. Thomas being the Spring Certified Professional of the group. Dan and I are both working on that. So yeah, come join us. It'll be fun. There's lots of stuff out there, but you have options. And I'm just saying, we're showing up. We'll be there for you to help. So I think that this should be working. This is our Whisper transcription service. So what this, I believe, is going to do, we're running the main.py. Main.py is going to process an RMQ request. Okay, so it's listening from Rabbit, and it's going to have access to some region and bucket. So it's going to get a message and it says, hey, there's a transcription, there's a audio bucket here. Go grab it. Booth reset of default session. So hey, go get that resource for bucket name. There's a bucket, handle the request, go into that bucket, download it, download what's in that bucket, and then give me the text of that transcription. And return. So here's where we're at. Handle transcription request. Okay. So yeah, do that thing. It'll give me a text of the transcript. So then from the S3 bucket, I love that. I'm just smiling at this right here. From that S3 bucket, we're going to have that text, and then we're going to send that text over to this, right, to our assistant. So here's what we're going to do. I want to see if I can get this repository. I want to see if I can get it up and running. So let's do this. Let's, do I have pack? I do. So we're going to make sure that we're on the latest and greatest. I'll do that over here. I'm just going to do sudo apt update. Make sure that we're all on the good late stuff. Sudo apt upgrade -y. Make sure I'm running on the latest stuff, right? Every day. I have this constant thread in my head. Thomas knows this, like about being on the latest and greatest, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, you can't take the releases right away because there might be bugs." And everybody's got this like window of time. No, we wait 30 days before we take any bugs. We wait 60 days. And they make a big deal out of it. And in my head, I'm just like, I can't understand in today's day and age, and this is a quote, or a sort of quote from Purnima over at VMware. She says, we live in a day where OpenAI can go from 0 to 100 million users in 4 months. In 4 months. And a bank, one of the world's most popular banks, can go bankrupt in 2 days. Like, time is crazy, and we don't have a lot of it. And if you're a company, startup or enterprise, telling me that you're not going to take updates for 60 days or for even for 30 days after they're released, you know, there's so many bad things that could happen in 30 days. And the reason is, well, yeah, what if there's bugs? What if it breaks us? What if there's a CVE? And what if it doesn't break you? What if it saves you? Like, what happens more often? So I'm still like just struggling with that, and I don't have a good like solid answer. It's just I can't condone not taking upgrades for 30 days. Can't do it. Do we have any that we need to upgrade? It says Damon's using outdated libraries. Enter the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I broke it. What did I rebooted my SSH service, so hopefully it'll come back up. Yeah, time runs differently in some companies. They like to think it. Some companies like to think that they've got more time than others to do their patching. Yeah, like Dan Vega, that's my buddy. I like to think that he's my buddy. Yes, we do the spring office hours together. So yeah, he's got all the good stuff. So there, like I'm telling you, like this is a good place to be. You have the people like that are willing to teach you things. So come on in. So this is trying to reconnect to that remote host because I restarted my SSH service. Apologies for that, but we'll get there. Yeah. Let's try this. Let's just try that again. Let's go over to our client. Let's say, hey, I want this service. Holler, help me out. Don't make it so hard. This doesn't seem to be working. I can still SSH, but somehow I've got something hanging. So I'm gonna close my JetBrains client and I'm gonna try to open it again. All right, preparing, SSHing, starting remote backend. And then let's go, waiting for that IDE backend to start. There we go. So this works. This should ask me for a password. Here we go. And that's cool. Like I can do this on a stream and my secrets aren't shared. So that's cool. But we said it's not found. Those that aren't found are not in there. This should work. So I got to give it a bucket name and an S3 region, because down here it says region, access key secret. Let's. I don't want to give. I don't have money. So let's go back here to Minio. Is there a quick start? Minio. I just want a quick start. Do we know of a quick start for Minio? We can do Docker even. Install and deploy Minio. Deploy Minio, single node, single drive, yes. I have to back up so I can read it. Podman, Docker pull, Docker hub, Docker pull. Create environment variable, the root user, password, volumes. Create and run the container. I can do that, right? Validate container status. Let's just do this. Like, come with me. Join with me as we try to get this Minio. Do I want to do it on Docker, really, or do I want to do it on Kubernetes? Quick start Minio for Kubernetes. Existing Kubernetes deployment where at least one worker node has a locally attached drive. I think. Local kubectl install configured to create and process or and access resources on that target. Okay, familiar terminal shell. Let's see if we can do it this way. No, we should probably start with the easy. Let's start with the easy and then we'll upgrade. All right, so quick start. We're gonna do this podman, procedure start the container, Docker, root full, rootless, what? Here. All right, deploy single node, single drive, Minio, Docker. Let's pull this. We can do this, right? Let's do that, and we'll do it live. So we're in here. We're gonna say, hey, go give me Minio. Give me Minio. So we got the latest here. Let me bump this up so we can all see what's going on. And then create the environment variable file. Create an environment variable at here for Windows host, specify blah. The following example provides a starting sets the root account for Minio. Let's just do this. Let's copy this and let's put it over here. Oh wait, I need to be on that machine. So we're gonna do it over here. We said Docker pull Minio, Minio, either way. We did that, and then when we're talking about environment variables, I should just be able to do this. So what I'm doing is, as my notes, I'm going to copy this because I want to be able to read it all. And I'm going to say this. So this is the part I added. It says, Minio root user, Minio root password sets the root account for the Minio server. This user has unrestricted permissions to perform S3 and admin API operations on any resource in the deployment. Omit to use the default values Minio admin. Minio recommends setting non-default values as a best practice regardless of environment. Okay, Minio volume sets the storage volume or path to use for the Minio server. Minio volume /mount/data. Minio server URL sets the hostname of the local machine for use with the Minio server. Minio assumes your network control plane can correctly resolve the hostname to the local machine. Uncomment the following line and replace the value with the correct hostname for the local machine and port for the Minio server. 9,000 by default. Okay. So it's S3 compatible, but it's not going to use the same stuff. So we might have to make some changes here. But for this, I want to check out this real quick. I want to check out his compose. Okay, he's not doing any path. So if I just wanted to start this up, I want to break as few things as possible. Oop, what do I do? Boop. Let me comment that out. We're just going to use Minio admin. So this is really the only thing. Sets the storage volume or path to use for the Minio server. I think I'm going to do mount Minio data, just so I don't confuse myself. So I'm gonna hop over. I'm gonna do one of these. Actually, I don't need to do that. I'm gonna go here, cool. Let me do this. All right, so I own it. All right, so I should be able to do stuff with it. Cool. So there's my menu volume. That's the only change that I made here. I should be able to go now during allow, and type in my password. Okay, it says, hey, I can't find the things. Okay, that's cool because I've got this. Then, here's a question. Do you style with Java in Vaadin or CSS? So I really do a lot of Vaadin. I don't touch CSS a whole lot these days. I just kind of like let Vaadin do the work. So in that, what I will show you is like style-wise here. Nope, not there. I had it up. I don't have it up anymore. I'm gonna go back to Vaadin, start.vaadin.com, and I want to show you some of these cool things you can do. I'm gonna delete this over here. I click on this. I say, hey, I don't want that. I want one page. And I can change the theme. So I can change colors. And I have my dark mode, my light mode. I can switch things around. I can change my palette. So I can have an orange palette, or I can use the default palette. I can change my colors. I can also change like the styles. Right, so you got tons of options, like when you're talking about styles and how you want to change it. Font size, I can blow it up. I can make it super tiny as well. And the line height, I can shrink or I can expand. So you have options, and it's doing that across the whole system. So I can also change roundness, squares. So I'm looking here, the box, I can round it, or I can make it a circle. I like the rounded look. But you can also do the buttons. You can make those buttons raised or flat. Well, I'm not seeing any of the buttons. Oh, there they are down there. That's raised and that's flat. Text field, I can put a border around them, or I can fill them. I'm not seeing any change there. But then also, so you got these options for your styles. I just wanted to point that out. It's just handy. So I can make things look different, even though I'm building with the same thing. I can make things look different. And then when I'm done, I got it. I go over here and I say export project, and I get a project that I can just go and run local, and I can stand it up. Very cool. Very cool. I'm a fan. Oh, yeah, I want to share these savings. I want to share this setup with you. I can go like this, click share, copy, and I can post this. Hey, there you go. There's the project that I'm working on. You can have those exact same specs. Boom. How cool is that? It's just like, they're doing some cool stuff. Let's go back here. Boom. Awesome. Tooks, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for dropping in. We're good in the, I think in main, where I'm doing this default session. I don't know this well enough to know what to change off the top of my head, but I want to be able to run this. So maybe I do need to get a S3 bucket. Let me see if I can do that real quick. I don't know that I have. I don't know that I have. I have no idea if I have even access. I haven't logged into my AWS portal in a while, so bear with me. I'm on another computer trying to get my my stuff. Actually, I should have a... I'm looking. I'm trying to just find my credentials so I can get some tokens. Bear with me. I should have access to it somewhere. Apps maybe. No. Here we go. I'm looking. Nope, I have no idea where it is. Please continue to hold as I try to find how to get access to my credentials. I know I have it somewhere, but I don't like keeping credentials on my computer. So I think what happened was I had it on my old computer. I had a bookmark that showed me where to go, and I know how to log in with that bookmark, but I didn't copy it over. Please continue to hold. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Let's see what we can do. Looking and learning. And realizing I don't have access to anything. I'm just trying to get access to Amazon, and I'm trying to go the right way. I don't want to spend any money. I want to use my work credentials. There we go. Found the link. Here we go. Let me bookmark that. Done. And now we can log in. Please remember me. There we go. Shouldn't take too long. I should have credentials anytime. Let's see what I got here. Oh, look at that. Boom. So can get access. Power user for 1 hour. Yes. Remind me, I have another call I need to do it for. So we're going to do power user. And let's go next. All right, so I've got a key, secret, and token. Oh, guess what? AWS secret access key. I need the S3. I'm going to need this to change up. But for right now, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to go into my secret store. Oops, I didn't do it right. I'm going to my secret store. I'm going to make some of these secrets. But I don't want to share them on screen, so I'm going to make these. I'm going to make a new one. Hello. And the name, YouTube, Assistant S3 Production. The username is the access key. So I'm going to throw that over here. And the secret, access key secret, I'm going to throw in the password. And we're going to try that. Do I need the session token? Click here to access AWS console. So let's do that. So this is a very interesting, this is actually going to lead into my next conversation where I don't think I shouldn't have anything running anywhere. But look at this. What? Ridiculous. I don't even understand this. Nickel and dime. I'm going to save this one over here. I'm going to have some values. I'm going to rerun this, and I shouldn't get the not found because I have tokens. But I'm going to do it over here just in case something, spills out. Burn, allow, do the thing. Oh, it says not found, not found. Wait, what? Let me see this. bdub get username. It says not found. When I just YouTube assistant dash S3 dash production YouTube assistant. Let me just double check here. Save. All right, let's do this. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. I'm gonna boop it. BW sync. Got it, okay. So that's what I needed. Clear, dir, and allow. Okay, this time I did not get the not found. Fantastic. That's a good thing. All right, let's close that. We can close that. And now we've got a BW session. We have an access key and a secret. What I don't have is I need an S3 region, in a bucket. The bucket is $user. Right? Is that right? So if I go and make a bucket in S3 in US East 1, North Virginia, I don't want to do it this way, to be honest. I want to make that bucket. I want to have Terraform to do it. That's my. That's a character flaw where it's like, I want this all automated. I don't want to have these manual steps, because right here we're saying, hey, do this, like have these buckets and identify it here. Well, I should have a Terraform that says, hey, go build and create this. So I'm gonna do it manually, but I'm not gonna like it. I'm gonna do this manually. I'm gonna go and create an S3 bucket, but I am not gonna like it. So I'm gonna go to my services, and I wish I could do this on screen, but I can't. And I apologize for that, but I'm gonna go to storage, and hopefully that's where S3 is, and it is. I'm gonna create a bucket in US East 1. What, I have a bucket out there? What? Who made this? Let's get created February 3rd, 2022. Get out of here. Delete that bucket. Delete it. Insufficient permissions. Unbelievable. I got a bucket in my account and I can't delete it. That's crazy. Robotech says, I was listening, and then a question completely off subject on hand. I started with the Arduino. Do you think that was... No. Start with the Arduino. It's great. There's lots of stuff. I did not start with the Arduino because of my skill set, where I'm programming from, what I'm doing. Arduino is great. So you did not make a mistake. I gave it here my blessing to go forward with the Arduino. But where we're gonna cross paths, when we want to do something together, I'm gonna beg that you switch over to Raspberry Pi. We'll do something. Tell me what your current project is. Like, what's the current target? What are you trying to get to as far as a robot? I can tell you what I'm doing as soon as I find what my phone is. Hold on. All right, we're back. A Twitch chat driven car. I love that idea. I have some Twitch chat stuff, and yeah, that would be fun to interact with. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's keep going here. I think I'm doing this the right way. Oh, yeah, I said I was doing this. I'm gonna build a bucket. I'm gonna create a bucket. Then when I create a bucket, I gotta worry about all like permissions and stuff. Excuse me. I'm gonna create a bucket, and that bucket is called Sean Transcription Input Bucket in US East 1. Copy settings from existing bucket. No. ACL is disabled. All objects in this bucket are owned by this account. Access bucket and its object is specified using only policies. Okay. Block all public access. Turning this setting on is the same as turning on all 4 settings below. Bucket versioning, don't need that. Tags, don't need. Default encryption, server-side encryption with Amazon. Use an S3 bucket key. I don't think I need that. Advanced settings, object lock, disable. After creating this bucket, you can upload files and folders to the bucket and configure additional bucket settings. Okay, let's go. Robotext is BRB. Yeah, we'll be able to figure out something, right? There's the real time versus kernel thing. Sean transcription input bucket. I did it. I think properties, permissions. I hate AWS portal. I don't, you shouldn't be in the portal. Like, what if I click the wrong thing? I want this to be a Terraform software defined something. I don't like this at all. Like, I don't like what I'm doing. We'll see. We'll see if this works. So I've got this stuff now. I've got a bucket. I've got a password. I got it assigned. We'll see. I've got this mini volume. That doesn't matter. But now I should be able to. And here's the thing. Do I have Python? Which Python 3? Do I have it over here? I do. So according to this, I should be able to do pip env. Do I have pip env? Which pip env? Whoops. Which pip env? I don't. Sudo apt install pip env. Sure. So I think that's the same thing that said here. Pip env run, right? So if I want to run this, I should just be able to do this, right? Run. And no module. What? Oh, I have to do the, so this says this project uses usage. No, that's not the usage, because I know this, because when I looked at the Docker file, that's not what you did. You did pip install pip env. You did all this stuff. For GCC, you did this, and then you said pip env install -- deploy. So I think I have to do pip env install -- deploy, right? Because that's what happened here. Deploy. But I'm not sure. This is what it looks like. Tukes, if you're around it, am I doing this right? I'm trying to install this stuff. So then I can run it. But we'll see. So what I think it's supposed to be like this. What did I say it was? Pip mb install deploy. And then pip emb run python 3 main.py. Okay, not quite. I just want to catch up. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to catch up. It says cannot open shared object file, no such file. What? I don't know this. During handling of the above exception, another exception occurred. Main.py import transcription. This. Import whisper, import torch. So in here, when I'm trying to do this stuff, why is that not working? Well, there you go. Cool. So we did that. We have a Python 3, but these imports did not work, which those should work. It should pull in this and this from S3 import. Okay, so this could be an environment thing. And I'm very much aware that it could be just a problem with my environment and that I don't know how to do things. So the other thing I can do is I've got this handy dandy Docker file here where my friend said, hey, like, here's how you build a Docker file. So if I just go Docker build thing path URL. No, start a build. Can I give it a dash name? Output destination, no. Name, optionally a tag, name tag. So if I do Docker build .-t whisper. I should then have a image called whisper built from this Docker file from this repository that I should then be able to run. So that this this should eliminate it should eliminate the environment concern. So today's just hacking. I am just trying to get caught up. I want to get to a spot where the next time I pair with Josh, I'm comfortable. I've edited, I've done it, I've tried it. That's it. So the way that we're communicating asynchronously right now is through GitHub. So he's putting in his notes. I'm going to do a PR. Oh yeah, remind me. I've got another meeting at 4 o'clock my time. Here we go. Exporting to image, exporting layers. Whisper. So this also expects these Docker services running. So let me do this. Docker compose. Let me stand up that Docker or that RabbitMQ instance. And then let me Docker images pipe grep whisper. So I just did this. I have a whisper version latest. I should be able to Docker run whisper. Is there anything else I need to do? No. Pip env not found. So inside inside of that Docker image, it ran pip install pip env. And we expected it to have pip because we did it from Python. But what happened? Load Docker ignore, transferring, load definition, transferring Docker file, load metadata, Python poll token, transferring context from here, resolve, grab all the stuff, run pip install pip env. It acted like that worked, right? Nothing failed. And then it said run apt-get update and apt-get install -y no install recommends GCC. Copy pip file lock, then run pip env install. So it has pip env at build time. Then we say copy from Python deps /venv /venv, run user add app user workdir, copy everything from here to there. And then when we run it, it says pip env not found. What's the, I want to get into that, right? Docker image bash. How can I run bash in a new container, right? It's -it-exec entry point. Right, this. Right, this. Do this. Container name. Whisper. Bash. No such container. Whisper. Yes. What? Right here. Wait, what? Okay, that's when it's running. How to run bash in container. Oh, no. Running a bash shell on container startup. Docker run IT. That didn't work. Image bash bin sh. Nope. So I want to overrun this entry point. Dash dash entry point. Dash dash entry point and bash. All right. So which pip env? It's going to say what? Pip env command not found. I'm in home app user. If I go here, find name pip env. No, that's not there. User local. Then I see pip 3. Where would pip env? So what we did in the Docker file, we said pip install pip env. So pip install pip env could not install package due to an OS error. Permission denied. So it's the .v. Okay, so the .venv part where I didn't have a .venv. So where he was doing this part right here, where he was copying from Python depths, he assumed that I had a .venv, right? No. Because that should have happened in here, base as Python depths. So why didn't this happen? And then the env path, it should be /ls/.v env pip. So that's where the pip env is, right? No. Yeah, so it has the right thing here, user local bin. But when I do this, it's trying to could not install packages due to OS error. Permission denied venv lib. There is none. Okay, all right. So let's do this another way. All right, let's do this another way. Let's do this Docker images pipe graph whisper. And let's, hey, I'm working. We are gonna keep on going. No worries. So I am trying to get this image stood up, and I'm running into a few problems. So what I'm gonna do now is Docker rm this whisper latest is referenced. Let's try this. Okay, I don't want that image. What? My stop container. Docker PS. Docker stop. Current. Must be forced by stop container. Did I start this multiple times, or is it restarting? What? not sure what's happening here. Image is being used by stopped container. Okay, cool. That was the last one. All right. So now I want to try something slightly different. I want to do this pack. I want to try to just use the build pack because I don't know what I'm doing. Bottom line. Here, so I'm going to do pack build whisper build pack Paketo build packs / Python builder Paketo build packs / builder - jammy base. Except that's not going to work because I don't have a proc file. So what I need to do is I need to make a new file called proc file. And yes, let's add that. And in that proc file, I just need to do main pip env run python 3 main.py. Let's see what we got. So instead of using the Docker file, I'm going to use a build pack because things just aren't working the way. So I don't know the answers. I'm not digging in and I'm not trying to figure out the answer. I'm trying to find the easy path to my next milestone. Maybe you're like me in that way. Trying to catch up with Josh, trying to get something working, and I'm having zero luck. So I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. I've had zero luck making any progress. But build packs is my jam. I don't like Docker files. Friends don't let friends use Docker files. I want to get rid of this Docker file so bad. All right, we're going. It looks like we're doing the same thing. Pip install -- deploy. Fantastic. Like it's doing the same thing as the Docker file, except I don't have to have a Docker file. And we'll see. We're just going to keep on trying until we get it. My question is, when it comes to the build pack running and this, it's okay. So it's going to grab those environment variables. So when I start the build pack image, I've got to pass in those environment variables. And if I start it in this directory where I have the environment variable, it'll be just fine. But when I deploy it to Kubernetes or other, I need to make sure that I'm setting those environment variables as I go. What is it saying? Disk full 96%. There's no way that that disk is full. Maybe it is. It says 95 gigs out of 98 gigs is full. I don't even know what that is. So I'll have to do some cleanup for sure. Soon. No space. Look at that. No space out of noise. So look at that. I am running into this right now. I didn't even have a chance. I am running into this. Okay, so what are we going to do here? This is very interesting. Let's see what we can clean up. All this stuff is just in my fun directory. That's for running locally. I think my Belsoft Liberica commits. Bear with me. I'm just going to do some cleanup because I'm out of disk space for some reason on this remote computer. So I'm going to go in here to Belsoft Liberica. Whether my PRs have been committed or not, everything's committed here locally, so I can remove that folder. So I'm just going through a bunch of folders here. I can even do it over here. And I'm sure I'm going to expose some secrets somewhere. Let's go in here. Let's see what we got. Hugo source. Get status. We'll figure this out. Or maybe we won't. Why is it acting crazy? Alright, cool. So I go here, RMRF, like, there's no edits there, so I can just get rid of it. I can always pull it out later. I definitely don't need demo. Dev.Sean.config. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm not looking at like what's the biggest where my stuff is being eaten up at. Dev.Sean.service gateway. Okay. Cat. What did I do? Git diff. I changed some versions. I changed some update versions. I bet you I just ran my Spring Boot upgrade. But this is still an old version. Like, ugh. Like, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. That's not worth changing. I'm embarrassed that that's even there. RMRF dev. We can upgrade that in another thread. But I'm not taking these edits, right? That's old. That's ancient. Spring 3.2 is coming out in 2 days. But who's counting? What else? DevNexus ASAE demo. Did I do that? I think we're good on that. Spring Data JPA and Redis. I bet you that is a fun one. Spring Data JPA and Redis. Get status. Oh, what? Okay, cool. Like, we're good here. Like, everything else is like there, right? If there's no git diff, I don't have to worry about it. It's in my Git repository. DevNexus ASAE demo. What is this? DevNexus ASAE demo. So this is last year's. My children will never deploy active passive, right? Git status. Yeah, we're good. But do I have that? That's the question. Is do I have all this? I'm honestly not sure. So that's one of those things where it's in my head, but I'm not sure if I really have it all saved. What's in this Docker images? That's weird. Oh, I'll bet you that's a big. I was working with WebLogic, and one set of directions on WebLogic had me doing a fork. And because I'm removing this, I know that I don't need that Docker images fork. So let me go and clean it up. I was trying to commit some changes to the Oracle. Wow. So, but I know I don't need that. So here, let's go back here. What was my beep? Oh, okay. Remember, I got 15 minutes. I got another meeting. So we got that. Let's see how we're doing. Can't read it. Look at that. I cleaned up 5 gigs just in that, and I'll bet you that Oracle directory is a lot of it. JBake future. I don't think I need that. I don't think. Right, that one's I do it all the time. This, I think I'm good here. Yeah, that's way outdated. I definitely Spring Boot 3. Like, I can't even believe that's on here because I need access. Get, oh, I know why. Get status. Wait, it's just that demo file. Get diff pom. Oh, that's a fairly recent edit. I definitely used the Spring Cube alias. Some tutorials in Spring Academy contain additional material like a link to a whole part of some Spring documentation. Is it necessary to read them from whole? No. No. Where there's like a link, hey, there's some more documentation. No, you don't have to go and read that. That's for your, you can continue to go through the guide and you can continue to do the progress. You do not have to read that in order to get done. That's for when you are like, hey, yeah, I did this, and you want to go find more information. That's just for your notes. Just know that the documentation that's on spring.io continues to get better, and know that that's where you go for more information. So like after you're done with the guide and you want to do more work, or you want to modify, you don't want to do the hello world example, know that you can go there to find your answers. Hopefully that helped. And I'm glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out, because I saw you on the chat earlier. I'm just going to assume that you and I have been co-working together and you've been listening to my music and listening to me ramble. So thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. But I don't need this either. I'm just doing a little cleanup. Cleanup and catch up, right? This is the Spring Boot 3 native cloud boundary. I have a better example of that demo in a new repository. Spring Boot Maven plugin is a little build pack example. I think I have a new one of that as well. But I just want to see if there's any deltas. I didn't commit. Nope. Spring Boot Maven, yep. So this is something I've been doing, but that I do that. And why is that on here? I'm not sure, but I don't think I need it here. Yeah. Right, that's okay. It's okay to clean up. Tons of I think I get that. Maybe not. What is this? Oh, we don't need that. I think this is good. But like I said, I've now got some room. I got some room to breathe. I have no idea what else is eating up on my disk. But what I can do, what I should be able to do now is really run this pat command. 1037. Now it should already have the images pulled down, and with 5 gigs free, I should be able to do it. We can keep an eye on my disk over here. While that's running, I'm gonna go, and I'm on the same computer, I'm gonna see if I can still clean up some more stuff. Man, I got a lot of stuff here. Spring Boot Migrator JE projects. Yeah, that's a good one. Paxton Hare. Sean Dev. Okay. So no build pack groups past detection. Please check that you're running against the correct path. Failed to detect no build packs participating. So this may be the result of using an untrusted builder. So what happens if I just use base? Failed to fetch builder image. Base latest does not exist. Okay, let me do this. Let's go over here. And what I was trying to do is Paketo.io and Python. I want to do this. So this says builder, Paketo build packs, builder : base. Sorry, whoops. Builder base. how did you learn Kubernetes? I will show you. I learned Kubernetes in my home lab by just doing it, standing it up. And actually, the first Kubernetes that I deployed in my home lab, I did it following Kelsey. I did it this way. Kubernetes the hard way. This is the way that I first learned Kubernetes. We're doing it this way. And then me and my friend Sean Noyes, we did the CCAD. So we studied, and I will show you the course. Was it Udemy? Let me find it. There was a. Yep, this guy. I took this, I did this course, which is super easy to get through. I highly recommend it. It was good. And then I did the CCAD somewhere. Oh. It took twice. Back in 2019, I did this though. So yeah, that's how I did it. So I played, I definitely had background with Cloud Foundry, and it worked. And then luckily, or I don't know about luckily, but the next day, I did it last night. I got the results of my CCAT. I passed. Sean, my buddy that I studied with, who we both did it. We both went kind of this route and did this, and we worked together. And did I even say who this was? This was Jonathan. So, oh man, I wish I had said Jonathan in here. Jonathan Schneider was with me at a customer, and we were kickstarting a thing. And literally over lunch, I said, hey, I can create one. And we did it. So I created a cluster, and I did it from my phone. Did I say that? This one of my favorite people, that was Jonathan Schneider. Yeah, this is what I did. So now I've got Kubernetes, and what I'm in the process of doing, like aside from this project, is this. I'm just standing up all my infrastructure. I don't have a lot of stuff running, but I'm standing up all this infrastructure so that I can play with and I can run stuff. So these are all Kubernetes clusters, and that's what I'm doing. What do you need Kubernetes for? Just it's an abstraction layer over all my infrastructure. So I can throw a bunch of computers like this. I can throw a bunch of computers. I can put them into a cluster, into a Kubernetes cluster. And then with that, I can say, so this is actually 5 computers in a cluster. I can say, hey, actually, let me show you. I'm here on that one that's pictured. I say kubectl get nodes and show me in wide output. And I'll bring it down here so we can see it all in pretty lines. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 nodes in this cluster, and they're all ready. They're all in good shape. So I can deploy a workload. I can deploy a container, and I can say, hey, Kubernetes, go make this run. And Kubernetes, the control plane here, will say, oh, okay, I've got a bunch of resources that I could use to do that, and it'll just pick one. And it'll keep track of which workloads are deployed where and how to access it, and give me a way to get the logs, give me a way to access it, give me ports to tunnel through. And I give it YAML, and it'll deploy it for me, and it'll keep it up. So like if I deployed something, actually, yeah, if I deploy something and one of those nodes goes away, Kubernetes will be like, oh, where it was running, it's gone. Let me move it over here. Let me make sure it gets deployed. So Kubernetes says, I was supposed to have that deployed, so let me keep it deployed, right? That's what that control plane is doing. It's in one of those loops, just making sure like, hey, is everything cool? That's what I need Kubernetes for. It gives me an abstraction layer over both my applications, a way of deploying an application as a deployment or as a daemon set or a replica set, and then also over my nodes. I have a cluster, and that cluster is built up of a bunch of nodes, but I can treat it just like a cluster. Like, hey, just go do this job for me. So that's why. That's what I do. Good. So did we get a build? No, we did not. It said no build pack group pass detection. No supported environment variables were set. Oh, I'm not running. It said right here, it says, please check you're running against the correct path. Well, I'm not. I gotta go back here to see YouTube-Atoms. Whisper. I gotta type my password. All right, cool. Now I should be able to do my build pack. I wasn't in the right place. I'm gonna do it with builder jammy base though. I kind of like this song. Oh, you know what? I know these guys, and I like their other stuff too. These guys. I'm gonna go add this to my favorites. All right, rock on. So not everybody needs Kubernetes. I just like it. That's my default. All right, I think this is going. Oh, all right. Thanks for reminding me. I have a meeting here in a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna end the stream. You know what else I'm gonna do? I'm going to raid Tomcat, and then I'm gonna jump. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you soon.